Can somebody just come out and say that they found more gold than the world has ever seen? Yup, they sure can. Okay, so we're going to talk about Uganda, and specifically Uganda's recent announcement that they discovered 31 million tons of gold ore. And then they go on to say that they can extract 320,000 metric tons of refined gold from that ore, and that would amount to about $12.8 trillion in value. Those are not rookie numbers. I'm not sure which is the most shocking. They're all shocking. And let me get a disclaimer in here. I can't confirm this and I can't disqualify this. Nobody can, but we're going to look at the feasibility of the claim and what it might mean both to the industry and to the gold that you hold personally. So let's just level set on what we know about gold today and cover why this is turning so many heads. Now, the popular opinion on how much gold has ever been discovered to date in the whole world is about 244,000 metric tons, and about 57,000 of that is still below ground. Now, the spokesperson from Uganda's Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, am I saying that right? I think so. Anyway, they estimate 320,158 metric tons can be refined from their discovery. Again, compare that to the 244,000 metric tons, of which 57,000 hasn't even been seen. Again, worldwide throughout history. So that's a pretty big claim. Now, gold currently tops the list of asset market caps, somewhere around $11.4 trillion, give or take. Uganda is saying that it discovered an additional $12.8 trillion worth of gold. And if we want to bounce to some other market, the world's most valuable company, Apple, that has a market cap of $2.3 trillion. So this would be like stumbling across 5.5 of the world's most valuable companies, all from a country the size of Oregon. So as we get a little bit deeper, maybe you've seen interviews with mining executives. You've probably heard them talk about drill results and grades. So a lot of the press coming from junior miners follows that kind of news, but they're a lot further in. There's several steps in by the time they're talking. They'll do soil samples and geophysical surveys. They will find targets to drill, and then they'll pull preliminary reads. They'll send that off to have that assayed in a lab to be verified, and then come back with results. Now, I'm simplifying this here, but you get the idea. There are multiple steps, and there's independent third-party verification. Now, that's before they can even make claims like this, but I've seen reports coming out of the Uganda spokesman saying that they've done aerial exploration across the country, and they've done geophysical and geochemical surveys. Those are pretty early steps. Now, however they came up with their numbers, both for ore and for grade, that would have to involve a lot of guesswork. So yeah, I'm a little bit skeptical, and I think that that's probably the most graceful way that I can put it. The annual global gold production is about 3,000 metric tons, and considering Uganda is about the size of Oregon, I mentioned that earlier, that's the 9th largest state by landmass here in the United States. I think that it's a little bit more likely that they made a simple mathematical error to get to that 320,000 metric tons claim. They haven't even mentioned drill results, or if they have, I've missed it, and so has everyone else. But there's no lab analysis, there's no assaying, there's no independent verification. And until that's presented, all that I can say personally is that it's far more likely that the country is just trying to court investors with shocking numbers, and maybe accidental shocking numbers, than it is that they've actually found more gold than the world has ever seen throughout history. Now, what I don't doubt is that the African continent has resources that have not been developed yet. I don't doubt that many countries in Africa there have gold in the ground, and a lot of other things too, but the story here is about a discovery so large that it would significantly alter the scarcity of gold, and then through that it would bring down the price of all the currently held gold because of it. And this is the new asteroid mining argument. Like, what if all of a sudden gold was no longer rare? Now, people throw that out as a reason not to buy it, and I don't think that they should if they're worried about it. Generally speaking, I don't spend much time or energy worrying about unlikely outcomes that may or may not negatively affect an asset that I already have. If I worried about every possible negative outcome, I wouldn't get anywhere. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take and all that. I mean, pick your quote. But there are a lot of other factors in play with possible discoveries. Things like time, like cost to extract and refine the resource. It could take a decade just to see refined gold coming out of a new discovery in a wild jurisdiction like that. The infrastructure alone needed to extract it will be very expensive. It's a bit like that spaceship mining rig that you'd have to have. Time and cost are huge obstacles. So this is the kind of idea that we suffer far more in imagination than in reality. And that's my take. I don't have a research wing here at 2is1 Enterprises. I don't have a geologist on staff. I may be able to reach out to a few people on the topic, but the announcement just really never shook me enough to go into full investigation mode. It didn't even make it past my gag reflex. The way I see it is that the human population is growing at a rate faster than new gold discoveries are being made, and gold has never been a zero-sum game. Bitcoiners got into this mix. They used this story to play the scarcity card, saying that Bitcoin was the only truly fixed quantity asset, and therefore it would be a better currency alternative or better hedge. Now, I'm not impressed personally. I don't see how that makes Bitcoin unique. An algorithm could be created to support a fixed currency value, and an algorithm wouldn't get messed up if people lost their passwords to their cryptocurrency wallets. That whole idea of Bitcoin as the world's reserve currency, that's just dumb. The part here about creating a peg, that it just is not difficult. A lot of things could be used as a currency peg, and gold's value does not hinge on it having a fixed amount. There is constant production, and in the case of actually using a fixed quantity asset, growth would simply come from further divisibility. If you had Bitcoin in play, you'd just slice it into smaller pieces, or you'd use a smaller unit that's set to the larger one. That's basically silver's use case in monetary terms. It has been effectively used as a smaller unit of gold. Now, the same could happen to Bitcoin or really any other fixed unit currency. So to sum this whole thing up, I just don't trust the Uganda announcement personally. I don't doubt that they have gold in the country, but I don't think that it's going to have a noticeable effect on price. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that it will more than double the global supply. I'm pretty sure about that. And I don't think that it will be extracted anytime soon. And then there's Bitcoin. I just don't think that will ever be a reserve currency. Sorry, guys. I think that covers it. So let us know what you think about all the world's gold discoveries throughout all time, still not adding up to what Uganda just said they found. I'm guessing most of us have similar levels of skepticism there, but who knows? As for its effect on gold price, I think the price movement just happens to be coincidental, and more about Uganda trying to find a way to turn a quarter into a dollar, courting new investment sources, since world economies are in quite a bit of trouble right now. So not a random coincidence, but more about connecting the dots in the wrong way. Anyway, let us know what you think. And then while you're in the comments, be sure to hit the like button if you found any of this interesting. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on if you want to see more on the topic. And if you're still here, thanks again for watching. I always appreciate your time. Take care.